How's everybody doing?
How you doing?
Oh,
What's up, ARod?
So,
Cheers, everybody.
cheers.
Cheers. Presidente, my favorite.
So, ARod, I want to point out some people that are in the room. We have a teacher. We have people who work pretty much in stores that are considered essential. And also we have some Met fans, Yankee fans, and we got one Red Sox fan. So thank you for joining us.
How's everybody doing? Corey, I'm loving that jersey back there, Corey.
Are you liking that?
Love it.
Special just for today. I actually had a question. I just read the Sports Center interview you did. They started to talk about the Michael Jordan documentary and how you were kind of excited to see how it was going to progress and how he would handle certain things. So far, being that there's only 2 episodes left of the documentary, we've all been consumed by it. We talk about it every week. Is there anything that surprised you that you saw? I know the 2 of you are friends, so you must have had a little insight, but is there anything that you saw so far that surprised you with that documentary?
Not really, Corey, because I lived it. I mean, I go back, more than 20 years with Michael, and he was a mentor of mine, and it just helps me see it from a different scope. And
Right.
I was in it, so watching it from the outside, it's kind of reminiscing a little bit of the good times and what a great competitor Michael was, and generally how he's just a great friend. When you're on his team, I mean, he'll do anything for you. And as a young lad coming up, having him as a role model as far as competing and work ethic, Kobe and I were very close as well. And Kobe and I are more contemporaries, and we looked at Michael as kind of the GOAT. And he's just phenomenal. I'm just happy that is reminiscing and reminding of all the great times we had, but for America to get to see what a great competitor Michael is awesome.
Nice.
Hey, do we miss sports or what?
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
They got me watching Korean baseball, ARod. I need you to use your juice and get it going. I need something.
Hey, let me tell you
Oh, my
something. My homies from high school, they're such degenerates. First of all, they're drinking more than ever. But these guys are actually gambling in like Korea basketball games, high school.
Oh my God.
So we need sports to come back.
That's insane. Oh my God.
Hey, ARod, I do have an off the cuff question, because I know you're doing these things and you're traveling around and people want to ask you all these like serious questions. I only want one real question answered, and it's going to tell me a lot about you, and I'm already a fan. Pancakes or waffles?
I would say
That's not a question.
Hey, you're my spirit animal for life. Thank you, ARod. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Gotta go waffles. How you obviously got to talk to a lot of Met greats on your Instagram, a lot of stuff. How are you getting through day to day? I see you and the kids are playing baseball. How are you guys coping through this pandemic?
What we're trying to do is really just honestly break a sweat every day. I've never eaten more in my life. Holy smoke. We're trying to break a sweat. We're trying to read. We're trying to do podcasts. We're just trying to keep the mind obviously always activated with positive spirits. And that's the main thing I'm trying to do. For us, it's been great not traveling for, a little bit over 8 weeks now, which is awesome. And more importantly, we're getting to spend time with the 4 kids. And I've never done more 8th grade. I didn't do more 8th grade homework when I was in 8th grade than I am now. It is hard. It's much harder than I remember.
That's awesome.
We hear you as a parent. ARod, I'm a teacher. Craig, who's on, is a teacher. And I think Ty is your wife still on. She was a teacher. So we definitely appreciate you as a parent, at least helping your kids with the homework and with everything that's going on in these times. So we do appreciate you in that sense.
Yeah, we got a couple of DJs too that are on here, and they're kind of hurting right now because they got weddings and stuff like that are being canceled, and they can't go to their local restaurant or bar and perform. So Mike and Chuck over there, the one Red Sox fan, and Chucky, you got a question for ARod?
Chucky, I have a question for Chucky.
What's that?
Chucky, have you thought about spinning live like on a Friday or Saturday night?
I think that's a great idea. I've actually done a little Facebook Live for a bunch of my brides and grooms. I'm doing anniversary parties for them. So people we've married over the last, say, 4 or 5 years, I'm getting them together
and I'm throwing a party for them on every weekend, kind of just celebrating their anniversary. It's cool. We're getting out there having fun.
That's great. That's great.
Hey, ARod. So I can't help but to notice mentally you went right there for Chucky. You're thinking about how to help him, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a producer of the podcast. I helped start the network that we're on, and all the stuff that's happening here. And that's where I appreciate you the most, to be honest. I'm not a baseball fan. I don't know much about you in terms of baseball. However, I know you tremendously as an entrepreneur and things you've done after baseball and business. I admire that like to no end. So I'm curious, like right now in the pandemic, what's happening? Like, what advice would you give for other entrepreneurs or people that want to start a business right now? What's happening? Like, what would you say from your advice, ARod?
Yeah, I mean, look, as we look at kind of data, we had, charts that where we knew that over the next 5 or 10 years, things were going to change tremendously. The way we're looking at it, everything has been expedited, right? And whatever we thought was going to happen in 5 or 10 years might happen in the next 2 or 3 years. So for me, just like as an athlete, I always think about the high-low game. I want to work on my strengths and make them stronger. And then I want to work a little bit on my weaknesses, right? Like, so for me, I'm really weak when it comes to anything with computer coding. Literally, I turn on my computer and the thing shuts down. I got to call my daughters, right? So what can I do in this pandemic that when I come out in the other side, I have better skills with my computers, my IT, all those things. But I think you have to be able to think outside the box. And I think too many people hear the word no, they stop. But the truth is, 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs, they get said no to. So how do you figure out a way to make sure that Chucky, when he comes back, while he's not making the income he was prior to COVID-19, he's going to make sure that 10 times more people know who he is, because every Saturday night he's going to be spinning for 2 or 3 hours, spreading good energy, and not get discouraged that there's 10 or 15 people listening, or 1,500 or 15,000, because it's not really about how many. It's about him, generating great energy and putting his superpower and his magic out there. And all it takes is 1 or 2 people to listen and go, hey, I want Chucky to play at my wedding, or I want him to come back to my high school. And that's the framework. Too many people worry about results. I'm process driven. I'm crazy about process. And
We're about the action. We're about the action.
Michael Jordan worries about process, not results.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah, and Alex, I mean, I know before you were talking about you're trying to break a sweat every day. I mean, what's your go-to right now to try and stay in shape? Is it cardio? Is it weights? Like, what are you doing to really, keep that going and breaking that sweat every day?
Yeah, like even that, right? Like in normal life, we have all these great gyms and we can do yoga and we can do everything. Now you have to make it rain on your own. You have to be creative. You go outside, you ride a bike. Today I did a little running. I did a little kettlebells. A little yoga online. Pre-core. I got this garage and I got these heaters on so I can sweat more. The point is, what you want to do is you want to take lemons and make lemonade, orange and make orange juice. And again, I think this is a great opportunity that those that have been sitting back just doing nothing, they're gonna see, the worst of it. But those who have been smart and continue to educate themselves and get better and better, each day there's 1 or 2 things you should learn that's gonna make you better when this thing stops. I don't know when it's gonna stop, but I know that I'm gonna be ready when they say play ball again. I'm ready. And what I'm relating this is almost like I played for 25 years at the major league level, and we had tons of rain delays. And what I realized, those who took off their uniform, got comfortable, they start eating fried chicken, and then Joe Torre or Girardi comes back in and says, hey boys, first pitch in 25 minutes, everyone goes, oh, and they can't get their mind back in the mindset of a champion to go out and play. Tony La Russa taught me a great lesson. He said, when there's a delay, get your uniform, keep it on, ride the bike, stop messing around, keep your game on. And when you come back and they say play ball, you're going to have an advantage to go back out there and finish and close that game like a champion. So I'm taking this just like a rain delay, but I know that my mission, the minute the coach says it's time to go, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, guys, with that,
Yes.
I leave you. I say cheers.
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 Stay strong.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers, ARod. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, ARod.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Give him a shot to do what?